I mean, I'm gonna add example. Additional example to there is no God but God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. I mean, really, even depending on the resource. I mean, look at the Sikhs. Do you see the first? No, I'm here not criticizing the Sikhs. No, I know a lot of them, and they are a very small group and wonderful community. I have nothing. But look at the first respected Guru. He is from a so-called Hindu background, corrupted like shit. I'm sorry to use the term. So he did a good job. I'm a Muslim at the end, dear Sikhs. I'm not assaulting. I understand so many of you won't understand what I'm trying to say. The first Guru looked at the so-called Hindu background, his community, and he saw shit. Now listen, are you talking on behalf? Yes. On behalf of him, yes. That's why he established this community. And then he looked at Islam. And he was inspired and interested. And the problem is that those who came and arranged a talk to him, and he was a very high spiritual person. But unfortunately, spiritual, I mean, he feels things and saying, they said those who approached him, I'm not criticizing them, I'm not saying this, there is a certain scholar who talked to him, did not do, may Allah bless their souls, did not do a great job explaining. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And the explanation was powerful, good. There is hadith, interpretation and things. Now I'm talking about the first Guru, the second the same, third, fourth, until the 10th. So he said, no, I don't want the so-called Hindu faith, and I'm gonna show to a certain level admiration to the faith of Islam, but still I think that Muhammad is a messenger, all these messengers, and I am considered also, there is no God but God, and Muhammad is the messenger. There is no God but God, oh yes, and I am also one of these holy men. So I'm gonna start my community. Now I'm gonna stop here so that I wouldn't be hush on any of those who are called Sikhs. Now I have talked about the meaning of the word Sikhs, either starting from the seekers of wisdom or the other line of blood, regardless. So we are Sikhs all, regardless. Let's go seeker of wisdom, regardless. I'm not going to go to talk about this. That's it. Look at the communist. Imagine a Chinese person. He is with CCP, even in Russia or others, for example. And he was approached by someone talking about Muhammad, and he's stealing East Turkestan, or even have nothing to do with stealing Eastern Turkestan, or even have nothing to do with stealing East Turkestan. Stealing East Turkestan, occupying and invading, occupying and sending troops there, stealing. Even if not, he's a communist, either in Europe, either in Russia, China. I'm giving you based on certain example by resource. You're talking about people who are considered a certain level intelligent. I'm not even talking about the so-called Buddhist. When he was approached, let's see what Muhammad got. Regardless. And he read, there is no God but God, and Muhammad his messenger. Okay, then they say the following. Listen, because the interpretation, the explanation is not enough. But this is not an excuse. No, not an excuse. You need to seek more. Seek more knowledge. And I'm not talking about Sikhism. I'm not talking seeking literally in English. Like the example. أطلب العلم ولا في الصين. Seek knowledge even in China. Some people say it's not a hadith. It's not a confirmed hadith. Some people say it's confirmed. Regardless. No. I have no comment. Muhammad is a final messenger. رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Oh my Lord, increase my knowledge. مَا أُوتِيتُم مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. You have nothing. You have just few of knowledge. So seek more. Quran, read all these verses of Quran. I'm not going even to the hadith. The hadith showed a lot, a variety of. Now this Chinese person is looking and he's saying, okay, then Muhammad is like a holy man, spiritual man. And he believed that God is everything. God, like so-called Hindu sometimes. Ent is a God, mice is a god because they are part of the god. See, do you see the Taghut is playing a good job. Let's ignore the term Taghut now. The dilemma, thank. حس بنفسيتي مدري كيف. الحمد لله, everything is fine. I'm sick a little bit today. This is not a sword, this is an umbrella. See it? Do you see things or no? Maybe. Anyway, the point. So he is saying, Muhammad. Oh, so communist is considered a faith. Yes, it is. Some said this, and Marx, in Eastern, or the leaders, Chimu and others. They are prophets, they are messengers because they led the country. You understand me? And they look into the term, literally, there is no God but God, which means that God is everything. God is everywhere. There is no God but God. So, stupid. They don't, because the interpretation is not good and the explanation not sufficient. There is no God, owner, founder, creator, worth to be worshipped. Creator, owner, founder of all existence, Lord of all lords, except Allah. Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater and bigger than whatever any human can imagine. Allah. And Muhammad is indeed his final messenger. This is a satanic trick. Well, if a Muslim did it without knowing, it's fine. There's nothing against him. He was mujtahid in interpretation. He have even one benefit. But the others and him, no, so it's not there is no God but God. This is a joke. I mean, there is people who are communist, rely on this interpretation. In China, you would think that I'm lying. Wallahi, within the decades. So they look at Muhammad that there is no God but God. So even practicing the atheist attitude is considered relying on some sort of God. And these leaders who are thinking and providing some sort of solution to the society and the community, blah, 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 are like messengers and prophets. From this point, I'm not going to do an explanation. From this point, they become angry with Muslims. From this point, they become angry from Muslims. Again, do you see the point? Why Muhammad are not accepting us? Why the people of Muhammad? Why the people of the follower of Muhammad criticize our God? He's a messenger. We got messengers. Messengers who died before 20 years. A recent nowadays messenger. They don't understand the reality of the game. The divine plan, things like that. Let's call it game. Game of the devil with humanity. They don't. This is the trick. This is the problem. You know, I'm sure I'm not explaining perfect. Unfortunately. So no, that's why. Look how beautiful for Muslim and horrible for non-Muslims, even if they don't. At the judgment day, the following statement, believing in it 100%, will mean that eventually you will be in heaven. And you are part of those who God put his sibgha, bent on your soul. Regardless of creating unjust, now also creating unjust against others, this is also a complicated point. But what is the statement, Tariq? It's confirmed in the Quran and the Hadith. There is no God but Allah. He talk about a balance. If two sides of this balance. The Hadith confirmed. If we put there is no God but Allah, 100%. Of course, you cannot understand Allah except by Muhammad. I mean, come on, who's Allah? Come on, let's read the Bible. The Hindu scriptures. No, you will not find who's Allah except by the final message. That's why Allah have said Muhammad is the final. What, the Torah and Talmud? No, it won't show. What? Come on, communist. Allah, what? Supreme Creator? Okay, fine. How can you understand? This is it. People, so the one who should be questioned, rejecting the truth, is those who are against the real true follower of Muhammad. It's not the other way around. No, it is not the other way around. This is the point. So, because people literally, they look, Muslim are me. Hey, we also have our own understanding of God. No, it doesn't. This is the devil. What? Yes, this is the devil. Show me proof, evidence. Explain to me from where you brought this belief. Look, communists. From where? Equality and things. Where? There is no communism even in China and Russia. Well, people, the faith is changing. You are part of Satan world. I understand it's hard. تتبعون أهواءكم. It's in the constitution of existence. You don't even have the aqidah. Be angry as much as you want. This won't change the fact that you will be wallahi in hellfire oven. This is not my talk. This is God talk. And you can find it by those Abrahamic, so-called Abrahamic. There's one Abrahamic. You can find it even in the Hindu scriptures. But they don't look at this. Because there is always reformation and things is changing. Things are changing. We change. No, it doesn't work. I'm talking about the aqidah right now. So the balance, the two sides of the balance. Imagine if you have a lot of sins, doing adultery, not even unjust at a certain level, because there is some sort of unjust means that you are not worshiping God. If you're worshiping God, you won't do it. Repenting means that you will pay a price. This is not the topic. But at the end, you will be eventually in heaven. I'm talking about the term, the balance, two sides of the balance. If in one side there is no God but Allah, definitely comes with Muhammad, the final messenger. And the other side, a lot of sins. At the end, the heavy one is there is no God but Allah. Those who worship the devil and the devil is resisting them, those who cannot liberate themselves and free themselves, this is the enemies who Muhammad fought. Those who have no mercy in their mercy onto themselves. It is a terrible, in some way, a word and terrible facts here and there, and just people just with life, they keep forgetting it or ignoring it or neglecting it. But it is a fact that a statement like La ilaha illallah should be interpreted perfectly. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah. Allah. Why we mention this? This is the most appropriate term to be by it, so that by it you recognize the meaning or the appropriate name of God, which is recorded within our history. I mean, within the history. I mean, if you return back 10,000, maybe the name is not Allah. Maybe Allah, you won't find the name Allah. But now, at this divine era, it is the most appropriate term, the supreme appropriate term to call Allah. You can call him the most merciful, the owner of power, the owner, the king of judgment day, the king of heavens. Yeah, you can call him anything. The Muhi, inspirer, the generous, the forgiver. You can choose whatever name, but Allah is the most appropriate term. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the final messenger of him. With this explanation, you need to add a lot of things about the Taghut, darkness. This is just 1 out of 100 from the points that you need through it to understand what you need to do to fulfill and complete the appropriate what is the term? Fulfillment of the submission, which is aqidah to Allah. I don't know, am I saying normal? So at the end, it's not there is no God but God. There is no God but Allah.